Okay. Uh, so today we have a look at the Bernoulli's equation. The Bernoulli's equation is based on the differential pressure at point 1 in a 3D, and then the pressure at point 2 in a 3D. So these points have to be different. They can be different. They can have the same y and z axis but different in x axis. They can be different in y axis. They can be different z axis. So one point can be here, one can be in any other point in any other point on a Cartesian plane, x, y, z plane. The Bernoulli's equation states that the pressure at the point 1 plus the potential, this is the potential energy, plus the potential energy of a fluid or flowing at the point 1 plus a kinetic energy of the fluid flowing at the point 1 is equal to the pressure at the point 2 plus the kinetic energy at the point 2 plus the potential energy at the point 2. What does it actually say? It says if you change one energy, that can be converted into another energy. So one form of energy can convert into another form of energy, but the total energy remain constant. So it's one way of saying first law of thermo, which is energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another form. So if you look at the right side of the equation, if you add this one, whatever the answer is, that's exactly same on the other side of the equation. If you look at the variable, there's a pressure 1, which is variable, which can change. Pressure 2, which is a variable that can change. So consider that one as a one variable, pressure as a one variable. The other thing is the density of the liquid that's flowing, which is a rho, half rho. That's the density. So half is half. Density, if the fluid is flowing in a pipe, we imagine that when the fluid flows to the pipe, and there is no hole in the pipe, so as soon as the fluid flows the pipe and the fluid is not corroding the pipe, so the density of the fluid that's here, it's exactly same as density of the fluid at here. Whatever fluid enters, the same fluid exits, same fluid, no change. So in some cases, when the fluid is causing corrosion, so eroding the thing, the density here will be a little bit different. If there's a hole here, like for example in the ball point, when I blow air in that one, yeah, or water to that one, the water that comes out or the thing that comes out here will have a different density. The reason is because now air is actually going in, yeah, so that will change. But in that case, the density, what goes in comes out, liquid goes in, same liquid comes out, density is same. Velocity of the fluid here is different than the velocity of the fluid at the exit. Inlet and exit, different velocities. So we call them V1, the V1 and the V1 on the other side, V2 on the other side. Then, because we're doing the experiment on the Earth, so we have the 9.8 value. If you want to do Bernoulli's on the moon, that's another thing. Yeah, but then we got the H. H is, if we got a pipe, a straight pipe, so that's your straight pipe. Now, the height from datum, D-A-T-U-M, datum means a reference line. So I'm making this one as a reference line, for example. I can use the ground as a reference, but this is 1 meter away. That pipe is 1 meter away, 1 meter height at Z. Z is the one we use, or H is the one we use. Sometimes you will see Z, sometimes you see H. There's a reason why we prefer Z, not the H for height. H in thermodynamics is used for enthalpy, so hence we use Z as an height. Now imagine this is a Z1. This is I want whatever the potential energy of the fluid here, and this is also same. This is same height. So in this case, the Z1 or the H1 is equal to H2. The height is not changing. But what if that's going that way? If it's go that way, what will actually happen? You have a different potential energy here and different potential energy here. So we will discuss these whole things. But overall, when the fluid is like that, kinetic energy will decrease, but potential energy will increase. So hence they will balance itself. That density remain constant. The value of G does not change, yeah, because it's just a few meters and so on. Why Bernoulli's equation is important and what are the applications of Bernoulli's equation? For example, there's a high-rise building, let's call it like 20, 30, 50 story, anything, any stories. And we got water, let's say, from supplier. And then after that one, they need a motor there. That motor needs to be of certain pressure to make sure everyone in the building gets exactly same pressure. First floor, not more pressure. Top floor should not get less pressure. And this is all dictated by Bernoulli's equation. Bernoulli's equation also dictates the diameter of the pipe as well. What should be the diameter of the pipe? They do the calculation. So 200,000 houses in Plymouth. Let's say 200 houses are connected to one pipeline, and that pipeline is actually diverting into smaller pipelines connecting to all the houses. So they need to make sure what pressure they put at the source. So make sure all the houses in the 200 houses get the same pressure. Recently, some water companies they start putting the restrictors, which helps to save the energy. That's what they say. But what actually happens is that the restrictors restrict the flow of water. And if you got 3 floors, first floor water is okay, second, third floor you don't have any pressure. So they did with my house, and that's what I got. So I did explain them Bernoulli's equation, and they said we will come and fix it. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. So we got a background of Bernoulli's equation. At inlet and outlet, total energy is same. So pressure differential is equal to the change in the potential energy plus the change in the kinetic energy. That's another way of writing the Bernoulli's equation. Now, then we got what's the application of Bernoulli's equation? Bernoulli's equations has application on steady flow energy equation. We call that SFEE. So let's have a look at SFEE. Okay, when we discuss SFEE, we deal with the fluids. Fluid is liquid and fluids are gases as well. Now, if there is no difference between the enthalpy and the internal energy, if something is flowing very smoothly, then we use another type of equations. We discussed that one in a minute. But if we are pumping let's say a liquid, and there is a continuous work going on, and we are providing a continuous power, there is continuous work in and there is continuous work out, there is no heat transfer. Heating or cooling of the liquid does not happen. The liquid that enters the pipe at a temperature T1 exit the pipe at the temperature T1. So because of the flow of the liquid, temperature is not changing. So what will happen? How do we do that one? How do we actually describe this Bernoulli's this equation? Now we got the equation which is Q dot, which is here, is the rate of transfer of heat, plus W dot is the rate of transfer of work, which is equal to the mass transfer. This is the mass transfer. M dot is the mass transfer. And then we got the half V square plus GZ plus U plus PV. U plus PV. U is the internal energy. P is that should be delta P. P is a change in pressure. V is the volume. U plus PV, which is that part, that is known as H, uppercase H, known as enthalpy. What is enthalpy? Enthalpy is the total energy contained in a body. We add the internal energy into it. So that's known as enthalpy. So that's the H. This thing is H. Now, here if you have a look, now if you open the bracket, that becomes a half M delta V square, half mgz or mgh, if you remember. and this is the enthalpy bit, m multiplied by that one. If you got a bigger mass, bigger enthalpy, lower mass, smaller enthalpy. Enthalpy directly related to the mass. I took the mass out because I called that one as mass flow rate. Now, in this case, we said no heat transfer to the system. If the no heat transfer to the system, the Q has to be 0. So I'm just going to put that Q here, 0. So that Q dot at the start will turn into 0. So there is no change in the internal energy of the system. Now you're sitting, your internal energy is not changing. But if I turn the temperature of the room, your internal energy will go up and up and up because the molecules in your body moving faster. So that's change in internal energy, delta U is 0 as well. So that becomes 0. So this is the equation, W dot equals to M dot work. This is energy transfer rate. Yep. Multiply by equals mass transfer rate, half change in velocity plus change in the height, and gz plus change in PV. So that's it. PV works with a specific volume. V is the velocity. Okay, now let's have a look. Okay, if you're heating a liquid and you're cooling a liquid, which means the energy transfer is taking place, you're adding the heat. Now, how much heat you add depends on the properties of the liquid. I give you water. Water will absorb 4,180 joules of energy if 1 kilogram of water until the temperature of the water raises from 20 degree to 21. For every 1 degree rise in temperature, you need to provide 4,100 and something, or 4,200 joules. But if you got a 1 kilogram of mercury, molten mercury, it's a different. They have a different heat capacity. It needs less, very less amount of heat energy to raise the temperature by 1. If you got like copper, for example, the value is 300 as compared to 4,200. Yeah. Okay. So we have a formula. The formula is Q equals to mc delta T. Q equals mc delta T. Now you got a Q on one side and you got mc delta T, where m is the mass, C is the specific heat, delta T, T2 minus T1, change in temperature. Now then we got the m. Instead of m, we got m dot, because if you look at the Q and the m, they are dots on the top. Q dot is rate of heat transfer, which means how much joules you transfer per second. And m dot is mass transfer, how much mass per second. So hence we have to put the dot. For a liquid, specific heat at a constant volume is same as specific heat as a constant pressure. The reason being is you cannot compress the fluids, incompressible liquids. In case of gas, that's a different situation, yeah? So Cp minus Cv is actually R. R is another value, yeah? So we will talk about that one later on. Next one, if we got gases, then that's a different story. We got exactly same formula, Q equals to mc delta T, but specific heat at constant pressure. We are using that one. If we're not changing the pressure, so if the pressure is not changed, we use the Cp value.